Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Essentials.TF. Once again, we're continuing the second EU monthly of 2018. We're into the playoff stage. Of course, this tournament is sponsored by Demos.TF and STN Trading. Please check out the link underneath the stream page. And we've got a massive fixture for you today. Two of the teams that are, up there for potential prize money winners at the end of the night. We have the Bugs EU versus FN. The Bugs and FN both kind of mixing teams at the moment, but both with plenty of Prem experience. So it should prove to be an interesting game to start off our Sunday. I'm CJ, and joining me in production is Jem with Alba in the casting seat with me. How are you, man?
I'm all good. I'm hyped to cast some TF2. It's been a little while, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, there's some good teams playing in this tournament. Like yesterday, we saw Seven, Ascent. We saw Lego as well, like Lego's LAN roster. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, good stuff. And yeah, as you mentioned, these teams they all have a Prem experience, and as well they have a lot of experience playing with each other, even if they are on different teams now. The FN roster, for instance, they have all played with each other like a season back or something. So these are players that they know how each other play, and it should be a good game.
Yeah, we were kind of referencing FN as sort of like a Nunya mix, because it's basically a collection of people who've played with Nunya over the past few seasons. And the Bugs was pretty much the Lolly squad, who won high 2-3 seasons ago, played in Prem the following season. So yeah, a lot of recognizable faces who are going to be playing here. And I think both of these teams probably not looking forward to playing each other, for the simple reason that this is a big match, which either team could. I mean, do you see like a favorite here? Do you see someone who's kind of got the edge?
It's hard to say. I would say that FN has a slight edge, a very slight one, because I mean the time where I feel like Lolisko was doing really good, which is kind of the Bugs EU roster. They had Gink, which is a huge playmaker, and Gink is now playing on FN. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of that cohesion, isn't it? Like the teams playing together, if they've got that ability to have someone make that play and get in there. Just looking at yesterday's results, the Bugs finished with 7 points. They won 3 of their games, drawing 1, and only losing just the 1. FN had a just slightly worse record. They lost 2 of their games, so they were down in 12th position. So technically, they're the lower seed going into this game, which might be a surprise for most people. And it does look like we're playing Process again. And I casted yesterday, and I saw FN play on Process against Lego. Now, Lego were an extremely strong team. They rolled Low Panda 5-0 in one of their matches. And Lego didn't roll FN on Process yesterday. So could be a strong map for them.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. It's always fun to watch even games of TF2. It doesn't matter what skill level it is. As long as it's even, it's usually fun to watch.
Absolutely. And this is a best of one. So both teams they don't have another map to fall back on. It's sort of all or nothing here. There's no double elimination. You either win here and go through to the next round, or you lose and you're done for the day. And I think looking at this side of the bracket, I think the winner of this match could do pretty decently. I mean, we've got a potential match against Rakuzan in the next round, aka my son's basketball team. But everyone's going to be having the big hitters out. So I mean, do you think these teams, based on the other teams that we know, do you think that these two teams could potentially be in the top 4, get some of that prize money?
It's gonna be hard to say. I mean, Rakuzan, they've been playing all season, and they've been improving a lot just the past couple of games. So it's gonna be a tough task for either of these two teams, but they could definitely give Rakuzan a good match after this one.
Just taking a look at the roster here for the Bugs, they are on the red side. We've got Ignis, Bloodis, Tonmus, Turo, Menti, and Jinxie. And again, lots of those names will be recognizable. I mean, who stands out? You talked about Gink as being a possible playmaker for FN. Who do you think is going to need to really step up to the plate for the Bugs to make a difference in this match?
I think Ignis. Ignis is also kind of the playmaking player, and is a pretty good scout. And I think I think it can do some magic if like Gink decides to go sniper and the Bugs needs a counter sniper. Then Ignis is a pretty good counter sniper.
Yeah, we do see a lot of sniping on Process. It is one of those maps with the sight lines that allows for it, and we are already up here. So we have the Bugs EU in the red. We have FN playing in the blue. Best of one on Process here. Winner will go through to the next round. A loser will be done for this monthly cup until next week. And till next month. Albadron takes it away. He's winning this mid fight.
Yeah, I'm watching Turo here going very aggressive here on the far right side, but taking a lot of damage. So he's got to be careful. Nice top presence coming in from FN with Crafty leading that, and both teams just taking it rather slow right now, just touching on each other and seeing where they can find a weak spot. So here we have a bomb from Thomas onto that top area, but he gets destroyed by Pred. That's a nice counter bomb. He gets 2 picks off of that, and the Bugs EU are going to be trying to escape with as many people alive as possible, but Loris is going to go down as well to another Rocky by Pred. So really nice middle from Pred there.
Yeah, Menti and Ignis have managed to get all the way back to the last. So they will have an Uber for this last hold. Really aggressive push onto second. I just really liked Turo. Got really aggressive there, got some good damage, but he didn't have the support for the rest of his players. So it was very kind of almost like a chess game there on the mid fight, waiting for someone to make a move. And Thomas was the man to make a move, but as he was the one who got killed, FN ended up winning. And you see kind of a sack here, and it looks like Crafty maybe going for an off class there. Maybe they're going to try and slow things down a bit.
Yeah, I would expect so. Both teams have Uber, so at this point, you can. With this much time left on the board, you should definitely go for an off-class, especially in this position that the FN are in. It's going to be interesting to see which he chooses. And he chooses Sniper as the looks of it.
We got Jinxie on Sniper as well, though. He's probably predicted that. And Bloodis on Heavy. Actually, no, he's going back. And he's going on Spy. So he's probably just checking up now, seeing what's going on, trying to work out what off-class Crafty has decided on. And now he's going on to NG. Bloodis has played a lot of Highlander. He knows how to play all these intricate little classes. He's going to get a sentry up for last, and I'm just waiting for FN here to try and take lobby or something to get some space for Crafty to get some sort of snipe going on.
Crafty walking his way into lobby, gonna take a peek towards the soldier, but he gets sniped there by Jinxie, who held the far right angle and pushed in a little bit. So nice stuff from him, and Ignis gets the pick onto, I don't know, I believe that is Yellen?
It's Yellen, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of aggression coming in here from the red team here, being Bugs EU, and the Ubers are going to be traded here. We have some people going for the back cap. Gink is in rollout, takes out 1v1 against Ignis here, and it could go either way, but Ignis wins that one. But the Bugs EU back at last.
I really like that from Bugs. They just decided to take lobby with their sniper, got the couple of picks they needed and pushed out. If they hadn't have dropped Turo there, if they hadn't dropped their Demo Man, they could have won that fight. But Yellen's going in for a jump here. Get some nice damage done. He's actually going to take down Bloodis. It looks like a dry push, but a headshot there. Jinxie takes down Connor. No heals for FN. And Ignis on a 4K. This guy's going absolute cam right now. He is just the man to get the frags. And Jinxie picks up another one there onto Crafty. So a win for the Bugs. Menti staying alive, so they can have a nice Uber advantage. But yeah, they're pretty holding solid there. I was going to say Ignis is really getting the right frags at the right time at the moment. And if it's not for him, that could have gone really badly for Bugs.
Yeah, huge Uber advantage coming out here for the Bugs EU. So let's see what kind of defense that FN will set up for this middle hold. I would assume they will try to go for some kind of spam force. But we'll have to wait and see. As it looks like Bugs EU are creeping their way forward. There is a sniper onto Crafty as well, looking in that choke area, and I believe the Bugs have spotted him because they're moving here in the PC area. Going to be coming in with that Uber. There's no sticks on the PC door, but they pop early anyway. We're going to see a bomb bear in from Turo, and they catch off base guard. I believe that might be Rattler, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure.
I think so, yeah.
And they get the sniper on Crafty as well from really nice follow-up aggression. Meanwhile, they have a scout on middle capping it. So they get 3 really nice picks, and now they back off to deal with the Uber that has been forced here onto the middle point by FN. And they're going to be in a lot of trouble when this one fades.
This is so bad for them. Connor will be lucky to escape with his life, but actually the respawns have come in. Ratslayer is back and actually gets some good damage on Choke. Thomas goes down, and Menti gets taken down by that pipe. Ignis is also dead, and what looked amazingly good for Bugs right there. FN have regrouped, and with those respawns just pushed in, they're going to win this fight. Turo is surely going to go down there to Yellen. Bloodis and Jinxie escape with their lives, but Yelen's on the chase. He wants more. He's thirsty for blood. And Bloodis is just there saying, no, please don't jump. I have a scatter gun. You're not allowed to do that. But that looks so good for Bugs there, Alba. And then it all just all went Pete Tong.
Yeah, that block coming in from FN was crucial. All them Bugs EU had to go back to that. We do see FN taking lobby here and getting the cap onto second. They have a quite big Uber advantage, but decided to go anyway. It looks like at least spamming down that sentry. They're gonna be taking some room, but you gotta be careful. Jinxie is on the sniper and he gets the headshot on the jumping Connor, and that's gonna be a favor for the Bugs EU. But the frags, they're going all the way of FN.
Yeah, they're just flooding the point now, and I mean they took down Connor, and that was great. They just needed to play the heals, but Menti went down because there was 2 players from FN who just went straight into panic room and basically just bum rushed him, took him down, and then that was it. And yeah, there we go, 1-0 to FN, and it just kind of seemed back and forth. The FN looking strong to start with, Bugs kind of bouncing back, and then a couple of mistakes. It just ended up being a whitewash, and a big sticky onto Ratslayer early on there. Or maybe Lucas, I'm being
Yeah,
told.
it's Lucas actually. I checked it out. So yeah, he's gonna be regrouping with his medics for some heals. Some really nice top aggression here from the Bugs EU, but they take a lot of damage in taking top, and now FN, they're taking over that top area. Oh, what a pipe from Turo to take down Crafty. And Jinxie might be taken out here as well. Yeah, he is. So this fight is going both ways.
Yeah, no soldiers in the fight for the Bugs at the moment. They've got no high ground, but the scouts are down for FN, and a nice pipe from Turo there takes down Fred. They've actually managed to clean this up a little bit. Ratslayer, Lucas running away with Connor. So once again, we see a kind of a dominating mid fight from one team, but the other team getting out with their medics. So there will be an Uber for last for FN, and we'll see if they get any off classes here. Crafty and Gink though staying on scout, so maybe they want to fight second here.
Turo hitting some really crucial pipes there in the mid fight to get 2 picks, and a pick on the Crafty early on. I believe that changed everything, but we have a soldier here in, and he's going to be taken out really quickly, trying to go for that force. But both teams at least have the Uber, and a nice sticky trap from Lucas takes out Jinxie, and he's going to be chased there, Lucas, but he's going to escape safely here.
This is where we might see a stalemate Jinxie. We have seen his sniping antics so far. 2 big picks onto Connor so far in this game. We'll see if he respawns sniper. I'm expecting it. Yeah, there we go. And probably see if Bugs can get some forward pressure here onto last. They are playing on top of the point, and FN are deciding to have this kind of forward hold in the lobby. See, Lucas is really far forward here, actually able to get sort of spam out onto the point. Pred also making a move to that lower area. So Bugs have to be careful. They could get pushed out on if they manage to kind of sack a player in or throw a player. Pred very weak and has to escape, but yeah, I mean, the teams are extremely close together here, Alba.
Yeah, absolutely. Bugs trying to find a way to use Jinxie the best way possible, and they're gonna be trying to take lob here, but Lucas overextends a little bit. He gets taken out, and a nice headshot onto Pred as well. And the headshots are just ringing out from Jinxie. He's hitting 3 nice headshots so far, but no frags, unfortunately, yet. And the Uber here from FN has been taken to chase that sniper, and they get Turo as well. So really nice Uber here coming in from FN, and the Bugs EU are going to be escaping here.
So that's the problem with having the sniper. When you go in for a trade like that, you don't have that soldier to get in and make the space. And that was a real big problem for the Bugs, and they're struggling here to hold on to the second point. Big one from Fred, but wow, nice rocket from Thomas takes down the bombing soldier. Menti escapes with his life, 15 HP. That pack is going to help him. Thomas goes in for the bomb now, but can't get anything, just kind of buying some time for his team to get out. Jinxie back on the soldier, watching PC, and looks kind of equal at the moment, but FN look like they're deciding to push through PC.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they take this one through, because really nice hold coming in here from EU Bugs EU, sorry. But Gink, he's all the way in the top with Crafty. Tur just trying to lock down that PC door, but he gets taken out really quickly, as well as Jinxie, but they get Gink in return. But Bugs EU have to escape this one, and Ignis get taken out as well, being a little bit too far forward here. So all in all, a nice push from FN.
The problem with Bugs at the moment is they're getting a pick. You saw a pick onto Gink there, but they're losing 2 players in the process each time. And it's not an equal trade. We see Thomas going for the bomb there, maybe trying to go for a force. But at the moment, FN are the ones just dictating the play, and they get the force early on onto Menti. This is a much better Uber here for FN, and they just look in total control of this map at the moment. Bugs kind of just reacting to everything that's going on. Wow, Yellen takes down the demo, Turo down, Thomas also down. And this is looking really bad for for the Bugs.
Yeah, the Bugs may be overextending a little bit after that Uber that came in. Crafty trying to go for the medic there, I believe, get taken out by Ignis. So the FN Esport, FN, sorry, gonna be pushing in here through the right door from lobby, and they're gonna be taking so much presence onto the point that the spawners might not even come in time, but they actually do, and the FN gotta be careful here not to be cleaned up here. But Connor escapes safely into lobby, tries to help Gink here on the side. There's fighting going on all over this middle, or last point, sorry. And in the end, FN are gonna be winning this one.
FN just seem to have this aggression that they don't care if they don't have Uber, they just want to keep pushing forward. I saw this with them against Lego yesterday, and Lego kind of had to react to it a couple of times and really adapt. And at the moment, Bugs are kind of struggling. They're going in for these forces, and they're going in to try to get a big pick, and they might do that, but it's costing them more players than it's worth. And FN are taking total advantage of that with the player advantage.
Oh, Jinxie flies in with the Mox Guard and actually gets the pick onto Lucas as well. So here, finally we might have a middle that goes the way of Bugs here, as we do see some nice top hold from Bugs, and FN are just going to be escaping here, and Pred manages to escape there as well. Yeah,
Turo took down Connor. That's a huge pick, actually. So, I mean, third mid-fight. This is the first mid-fight we've seen where one of the medics has died. So this is going to be a huge advantage for Menti, and this is a massive opportunity for Bugs to actually get around on the board now.
Crafty trying to go in there and trying to make something happen onto Menti, but he gets cleaned up, and he caught some spam rockets before he even went in, so he was pretty weak. And Bugsy, you constantly gotta be capping second here, and looking like they want to take lobby as well to find a nice angle for the last pusher. Gonna be walking here, taking it in through lobby left, and we might see a demo bombing here. No, actually, the same goes for the gun instead. And they don't really get a whole lot with the Uber. They get the sentry.
Oh my days. Lucas! He's hit like 4 air pipes in about 10 seconds there. Absolutely insane. This push has just been stunned. I'm sorry to interrupt, Albert, but that was crazy.
Really sorry I missed that. That was something I absolutely
wanted to see. An Uber came in onto the soldier, and Lucas just air piped him to stop him getting into panic room, rotated round to the left, and as the players came in, he just like double air piped somebody. As he was trying to jump up there, the Uber was just nullified by these air pipes onto Uber players. Absolutely crazy. And a huge Uber advantage for Connor now as well. Crafty going to respawn on something other than heavy, I'm sure. And this should be a really, really fast push now from FN.
Yeah, let's see where they try to take this one. As we do see a deep solid bomb coming in from Yulin, I believe, and curving off onto that on top of Seward's balcony to make some space for his team. We do have Jinxie on sniper in that choke area. So they gotta be careful here and not to be caught out by the sniper. You see a bomb in from Thomas, and he gets the force as well onto Connor. And Jinx hits a nice shot onto Lucas as well. So this is a disaster for FN, who tries to chase and make something come out of this one. And Mendy is so weak, but he's gonna be able to escape here. They get to pick onto Ignis though, but they have to be falling back here because the spawners are coming in for Bugs.
That was kind of, I suppose you could say this is a good thing for Bugs. They have been pushed back to their last, but they do have Menti with an Uber advantage, and Yellen's actually still down, so that's one less spam class. It looks like Bugs may want to push out here through lobby. Tonmas taking the space, and yeah, FN don't really look like they want to contest this. They're kind of far back in choke, 40% for Connor, so he's nowhere near being able to contest this with any sort of Uber, and Bugs might get this for free. In comes a player for the Force, but Pred's not able to get any damage onto Menti.
Oh, Turo's super weak there. And we do have a backup. It's Crafty.
Oh, no.
I have no idea how he managed to sneak through, but he does. And that's going to be 3 rounds on the board for FN.
I think he was hiding in lobby somewhere. I think he may have been hiding somewhere and just walked straight into last, and that's a heartbreaker for Bugs. It was looking really good for them there. Didn't have to use their Uber, taking second for free. I think you just get backed up. That's a morale killer, so it's going to be interesting to see how they react on this mid-fight.
Yeah, we do see a deep solid bomb coming in from Predator onto Turo, and Turo is so weak, and he actually dies from the fall damage as well, and some chip shot from Crafty. And look at his top control from FN coming in, as we do have a little bit of a serve lag there. Nothing to worry about, as we do see a bomb from Jinxie coming in, but he gets cleaned up instantly by Gink. So this mid is looking really good here for FN, and they definitely have some confidence after these previous rounds, and yeah, that's gonna be a middle for FN.
It's really interesting the fact that FN's success in these transition plays has been because they've been so aggressive. They've just put their, the pedal onto the W key and just kept going. But during mid fights, they're playing rather passive. They're just waiting for these bombs, Tonmas and Jinxie, and they're picking off Tura as well because he's very far forward. And this aggression is just being kind of countered. And once that kind of aggression's come in and they've destroyed the bombing soldiers, they decide to just walk forward. And yeah, the server seems to be a little bit of a freeze here. So I mean, it gives us a chance to talk about what we've seen so far, Albert. But
Yeah,
3-0, I mean,
absolutely.
do you think FN are good for a 3-0 lead halfway through this game?
I think from what we've seen so far, FN has had some really nice coordinated aggression and some crazy stuff coming out from Lucas as well. I feel like he's been doing a lot of work. But don't forget the soldiers as well, with FN creating the space for Lucas to make to make some magic. Meanwhile, on the Bugs EU side, they try to do the right things. They try to take top advantage, but it just seems like FN is doing a really nice job at shutting them down when they try to take that height advantage on middles, for instance.
I mean, what do Bugs need to do to kind of counter this? Because you're talking about Gink being the sort of the playmaker for FN. He is actually top scoring amongst the combat players on his team. He's got 2 dominations, seems to be doing a pretty solid job. What do Bugs need to do to kind of counter what's going on? Because clearly the mid fights, they've won 2 um, out of the 4 we've seen so far, which 50%, that's not a bad thing. But it just seems in between those mid fights, they're struggling a bit to kind of convert these advantages they have and kind of react to the disadvantage, getting into a decent position. What do they need to change to kind of turn this around on its head?
When I look at the scoreboard here, to me it looks like FN is doing an overall better job at cleaning up the frags. I don't know if it's cleaner communications or what it could be, but looking at the game, it looks like the Bugs EU, they kind of get disconnected at times. Turo being a bit too far away from his other members of the team, so I don't know if that's something that they could work on if it's a communication issue, but definitely feel like they gotta be playing a bit more together if they wanna win this one.
Yeah, it does look like we're back live again. People are moving on the server. I need to stop moving again, so that was just a little tease. Hopefully things are correcting themselves, but it does look like FN want to walk through choke now, Alba, and this could be a big fight. As I know, Gink goes down really early on.
Yeah, Gillen, he's gonna be taken out as well here from the Pistol of Ignis. So they tried to take choke there, but it didn't really work out. And now we see Bugs EU taking over that choke area, and the Uber has been forced, and it's an Uber trade. And at this point, the Bugs gotta be careful from the sticky launcher of Lucas here, because he can do a lot of damage. We do have Fred in as well, trying to get some rockets onto that medic, but really nice block coming in from Ignis and Bloodis onto that rocket. As we do have some freezing going on here on the server as well, but we are back. And the Bugs EU trying to walk in here in the choke area, and they actually lose Bloodis in the process. But Thomas hitting a crazy rocket onto Crafty and gets a nice splash onto Yillen as well. And at this point, FN are going to be looking to back off to their second.
Yeah, it looks a pretty good repush there from the Bugs. I mean, Ignis just seems to be doing a really good job at cleaning up at the moment. You're talking about needing the cleanup, and Ignis seems to have taken that upon himself to really try his best. But yeah, I mean, a little bit of lag here. Obviously, having some server issues. And, obviously, going to change the momentum a little bit. I think we may be switching server, I've been told. But yeah, I mean, Ignis there just denying these bombs, that's crucial. That's crucial. If they lost Menti there or they lost a big player, then that would have been really easy for FM because they just seem to like getting these picks and just rolling it on forward. So well played by him, but we are moving to a different server. So let's take a halftime score 3-0 to FN. We're into the second half and we'll see if Bugs can kind of retaliate.
Yeah, I think this is good for the Bugs. I mean, in the game, FN had the momentum and they were feeling confident and everything. But now, when there's a short break, there's enough time to tense up a bit and get a bit nervous, for the start of what you could say is the second half. So I think this kind of favors the Bugs a little bit. They have time to go through some stuff and talk about how they want to counter the play from FN.
Definitely. I mean, that's not something you really get an advantage of in TF2. I mean, I know in NA they do have that kind of system where they play a first to 4 on 5CB, and then it's the second half, or 30 minutes, whatever comes first. And you do get that chance to kind of sit down and say, okay, what's going wrong, or what do we need to change? In EU, we play, in this cup at least, it's first to 5. So there really is the pressure on the Bugs. They not only have to turn over a 3-0 deficit, but they can't let FN get 2 more rounds. Otherwise, that's it. That's curtains for them. And being a best of 1 at this stage in the tournament, that means that would be the end of the show for them today. So we are getting players into this new server now. For those of you just joining us, this is the first match of the day of the EU Monthly number 2. February is the second month of the year. So, of course, we've got the second tournament of the year from Essentials, sponsored by Essentials.TF and, of course, STN Trading. Scroll down and check on that link, guys, if you need any help or buying, selling TF2 items. And we're on process. The Bugs EU are playing against FN, and FN have a 3-0 lead so far. We've got about 15 minutes to go, just switching servers due to some technical issues, but we are ready, and we are live already, Alba. So
yeah,
no hesitating. Bugs are clearly ready and have a game plan.
Yeah, we might see some weird things happening here because they decided on that the Bugs EU gets the middle point and both team gets Uber before they do anything. Because I think the server issue started during the pushes of Bugs or FN, sorry. So we're gonna be seeing, just an anticlimactic mid here, easy for Bugs EU, and both teams are gonna be building Uber, and then then we're gonna see some action hopefully.
Yeah, both teams just making it fair. We don't want any unfairness here. So just getting ready to where we were when we finished on the other server. And yeah, 13 minutes and 20 seconds to go according to my server. So everything is as it was. And this is the moment where we start to think, what do the Bugs want to do? Because we've seen some nice sniping from Jinxie. We see Gink on the sniper as well. So clearly they're not feeling too aggressive. They just want to kind of wait as Bloody goes down.
Yeah, Lucas was sitting in sewers with a nice sticky trap, and he caught off Bloodis with that. And yeah, we do see Gink here on the sniper. And the Bugs, they're falling back a bit here. They gotta make sure to lock down that choke area, not to let Lucas too much space. And Gink just looking to see if he can get any kind of picks. He gets a nice body shot onto Jinx, I believe. And that's gonna prompt some aggression here from Pred onto Menti. Gets some nice damage, but cannot clean up that force. As we do see FN falling back a little bit with that lost soldier. And look at this, look at Bugs EU. They're taking the left-hand sewer area. They're gonna be going deep here with a soldier. Gets a nice rocket onto Lucas, and he gets cleaned up as well. Connor accidentally dropping Lucas there. So this is pretty good coming in from the Bugs EU, and they're just gonna be trying to bully FN off the point here. And Jinxie and Turo both getting a nice pick each as well. And it looks like they want to try to keep going, and they also get Gink and Yulen, so maybe an overextension on the FN side. And the Bugs are coming in strong here. There's only 2 alive here, and Connor was sent flying by a pipe from Zero, and that's going to be 3-1 for FN.
Really, really good push there from Bugs. They kind of just decided to just go balls to the walls aggro, and the fact that Gink was sniper and didn't get a massive pick at any point during that fight, they were basically playing 5v6. And if you lose your demo, you drop your demo out of the Uber, that is insane, because then you're essentially 4v6. And they just got swamped there by the Bugs. So we're on to our 5th mid fight now, and Bugs deciding to turn up the pressure.
Yeah, they're taking some good top pressure here, and we do see Jinx here taking some top pressure as well. Neither team's committing too much right now. Thomas pretty weak from some nice pipe stickies from Lucas, and the picks are rolling in here from the FN side, and they get 3 picks, and it looks like they want to keep going here as well. So we did see like Lucas just doing a really good job with his stickies there and letting his scout clean up.
Yeah, once again we see the soldiers and the demo die from Bugs as they try to go for these bombs, try to get this aggression down, and FN just playing so passively and just denying that. Yellen there going in deep, getting the sentry down, but trading his life for it. But Menti goes down, Fred flying in. I'm not sure if that was a dropout, but I didn't actually quite catch it.
Yeah, that was a drop, and Pred was flying in deep, and we do see the Uber coming in here from FN. It looks like they want to seal the deal right now. It's going to be 4-1 if they manage to get this cap. It's not quite over, but they're fighting their way here. But it looks like they lose Gink from being a little bit too aggressive. Crafty comes in and helps Lucas out to get the pick onto Ignis. But FN got to be careful. The spawns are going to be coming in here shortly for the Bugs EU, and they do go deep with both their soldiers, causing a lot of damage onto Bloodis as well as Turo. But it doesn't look like too much is happening right now, as Turo actually goes down really weak as I say that. But the frags are going to be coming in here from the Bugs EU, and yeah, they have Yulan here on the top area, causing some nice spam. But yeah, in the end, the Bugs EU are going to hold this one.
I have to say, if it's weird that they're 3-1 down, because at the moment Ignis is the best player on the server. I mean, they came in there, they have no medic, no heals whatsoever, no buffs, and Ignis takes down one player, takes down Crafty to about 20 HP. He dies for it, but it means Crafty's not in the fight. He has to take an arrow from Connor. Connor's not healing anyone else. And then by the time they're ready to push in again, Ignis respawns and then cleans up another 2 frags. I mean, the guy is going on a mad one right now. And, you know, there was some great play by Blows, but we see the Uber coming really early from FN, and the trade is made by the Bugs. They're going to come in. Thomas trying to go for the chase. Blood is on the heavy on the point, and basically nobody dies from that. So maybe just trying to get the Ubers out of the way before they make another play here.
Yeah, I think that was a really nice play from FN. It looked like exactly like they wanted to do a dot push, and they thought they might have like a small 10% ad or something, and they tried to go for it, but in the end they didn't. So as soon as they saw that pop coming in from Bugs EU, they just jumped out immediately and managed to keep everyone alive. So really nice play there from the FN team. But we do see Gink here running in and getting the frag onto Jinxie there, who was on Sniper. And they take a lot of space here on the right-hand side. And look at Gink just causing 2 players to look up top here.
Oh, Crafty just walks in from number 1 there. He takes down Menti. This should be curtains. We do have possibly a pause here, as I can see some rockets flying in the middle of the air, waiting to see what happens. But yeah, I really like the dry pushes coming in here from FN. They got the Ubers out of the way early. Nobody has Uber in play. You can push in, and any damage you do has to be just kind of healed up. There's no way of, you know, making yourself invincible. And because the attention was coming in from that far left side, Connor coming in with Gink, with Yellen, everyone was looking in that direction. Nobody was watching door number 1. Crafty just walks in, hits 2 shots onto Menti to take him down. So at worst here, if Connor survives, he's going to have an Uber advantage over Menti. He has 80% in the bank at the moment, but it's not looking great. I mean, Yellen is very weak, and Thomas is going to actually take him down here, but no, Connor with an arrow takes down Thomas himself. Gink with the 3 frags, 4 frags, takes down Jinxie there with the pocket pistol for his final one. And that's going to make it 4-1 now, Albert, and it's match point for FN.
Yeah, so let's see what's going on here, as looks like we have another round coming in, and hopefully the pause or the server issues has been fixed. So what do you think Bugsy you have to do here on the middle to get around here?
I think they just need to mirror what FN are doing. Stop sending in their soldiers, keep their demo nice and healed. You know, just pump heals into him and wait for FN to do something. Because at the moment, Bugs are the ones trying to make the plays on mid, and I feel it's just playing into FN's hands because they're just waiting for them to make a mistake and picking off the player that's furthest forward. Just, you know, take the high ground, try and control it, and keep Turo alive. He seems to be dying on a lot of these mids, gets a lot of pressure onto him. And if they're able to keep him alive and he gets some damage down, then they can maybe focus the side where there's the most damage and just play on from there. But at the moment, they seem very keen on having these 2 soldiers go in and have these set plays. It doesn't seem to be being too successful for them. I think if they get these mid fights done and they're in control, and then they can start making some plays. Because, you know, Ignis is playing well. Jinxie's been doing some great sniping. I think that there is possibility for them to get some rounds here.
Yeah, I was looking at Lucas last middle actually to see what he's doing and why the middles are going so well from FN, and I could immediately spot that he was just looking out for those soldiers, waiting for someone to try to take top to get some nice damage going. And I also did see the scouts of FN. As soon as Lucas hit a sticky onto that soldier, both scouts were rushing towards that soldier to clean that pick. So it's a very nice team play coming in from FN on these middles, and they're playing off the damage of Lucas very well, I would say.
Yeah, Lucas definitely, shouting out Ignis there for playing extremely well for the Bugs. But Lucas has been, I mean, I think player of the game has to go to that sort of double, triple, whatever it was, air shot on last there just to totally deny Nuba. It's individual plays like that that kind of hold off a team where Bugs really should have won a round. But you have an insane play like that, it really does help. And I think, yeah, if you have someone consistently putting out damage, then your scouts are just going to have a great time running around and cleaning up the tracks, especially on a map like Process. It is so scout friendly. And yeah, I mean, both of these scout pairs are very strong. I wouldn't say there's a clear winner, one side or the other, but it just seems that the cleanup is going much, much better for FN right now.
Yeah, I just feel like the team play is more there for FN. They're a little bit. Looks like the scouts are playing more on of Lucas damage instead of just focusing whatever player is nearest. So I like that player coming in from FN with the scouts.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be moving on to a new server now.
Yeah. So I believe I'm not exactly sure what the time left was, but the score was 4-1 at least for FN.
Yeah, I think it's about 6 or 7 minutes, and 4-1 to FN. So I mean, about 7 minutes. You've got to make up 3 rounds. That is totally doable. I mean, we always talk about the old the TCM coast to coast and the legendary match TCM or Broda versus the Australians Immunity
that's
a few years
legendary
ago.
matchup. But
yeah, I mean, things like this can happen. You never know.
Yeah, it's absolutely doable, but the Bucks EU just have to change their approach in order to be able to pull this one back. Just gotta find a new game plan, try something new. As we do see both Demomans rolling out the middle here, and Lucas being slightly faster, takes a little sticky. And we do see Jinxie flying in with the Market Gardener, but he misses and he gets taken out of the back of that. But Lucas was really weak, but luckily it's arrowed in time. And we do see some nice right hand presence here from FN, and a deep bomb coming in here from Pred to take out Menti. And at this point, we should be seeing FN playing around their medic, but at the looks of it right now, no one is playing even close to Connor.
Yeah, it was. It looked like a really good mid fight by FN, and they lost a lot of players from him. That's going to cost him. Jinxie with the bomb, but he can't get enough damage down onto any player to get a frag. So it's cleaned up by Yellen there. It's interesting that Jinxie, when he looks kind of a bit of a meme, going in for that meme spoon shot there with the Market Gardener. But let's remember, he did that earlier on. He did kill the demo that time, and they won the mid fight off of it. So maybe just really want to remove Lucas, just get him out of the way early on in the mid fight. And they did play a lot more passive, waited for those bombs, and they did get a lot of frags for it. But of course, Menti dying means they're going to have a huge uber disadvantage. They've got a sniper up, Bloodis this time, picking up the rifle, and Ignis is on the heavy. So they're getting ready for a hold here.
Yeah, we just see the Uber coming in here, left lobby, as the heavy is going to be the primary focus here, and he gets taken out fairly quick as well. So I think 2 frags should be good here for FN, but they only get 1 so far. As we do see a deep bomb coming in from both soldiers here, getting a lot of damage, but that solid bomb was such a distraction that no one was prepared for people playing on the point. And yeah, we had a scout and a demo playing point there to make it 5-1, I believe.
I mean, that's the dream, isn't it? Your soldiers just getting into their faces, demo sticking up that far side, and the scouts playing the point. Very, very clinical push there from FN, and they are going to take it 5-1. More one-sided than I thought it would be, certainly. I felt Bugs would at least get a couple of rounds, but FN looking strong so far. Now we'll be going into the next round.
Yeah, I really like what FN did there with the last push. Usually when you're an Uber advantage and Ubering in, you want to get something like 2 picks, usually. And they did get 1 pick onto the heavy, and at the back of that, they launched in really deep with their soldiers to distract. So that was really nice. And then scouts just went on the point to cap it when everyone was looking at the soldiers behind on top. So nice stuff here coming in from FN on the last push.
Definitely, and it kind of shows there that we've seen they can actually push in with this advantage and make it count. whereas Bugs struggled a couple of times to make these pushes count. FN definitely seeming to just have the focus fire down, and that's one of the most important things I think that changes between a good team and a great team. If you can get these pushes down and focus the right players at the right time, like you said, getting rid of that heavy early on just means that there's a massive amount of HP off of the field. If that heavy's alive when the Ubers are over, then it's very, very difficult for you to actually get onto that point. But no, FN seeming to actually do that really well. And there's not really any logs for us to talk about, Albert, because we played on 3 different servers. So if someone had the time and the patience to pick those apart and put them together, maybe we'd have something. But off the top of our heads, having seen the game, I mean, who for you was the star of the game? Who was the MVP? Who made the most difference?
I'm gonna say Lucas. I feel like he did so much, especially on the middles and in the last push Ubers for FN. So I'm gonna be saying Lucas.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think him staying alive there for a lot of the games, just seeing some stuff on the stream now, air pipes coming in from Lucas. I mean, it's a shame we don't have logs because I would like to have seen how many air pipes he did actually get during that game. I think it must have been at least a triple on last there onto Tonmas. But yeah, he definitely put in a great performance. Again, I have to say, Gink, you called him out at the start of the game for being pretty much the playmaker for FN, and he was just there. He was there to clean up that damage from Lucas.
Yeah.
At the right times, and if you've got a scout doing that, Ignis as well did really well for the Bugs doing it at the same time. But once again, if you don't have your entire team singing from the same song sheet, it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, we didn't see much playmaking in this game since it was a rather aggressive game, and there wasn't much stalemates at all. There wasn't much space for any of these teams to go for playmaking, but FN doing it really nicely with their aggressive pushes, and just yeah, it looked like they played together a lot more than the Bugs EU was.
Definitely. And I mean, you could argue that was a shock considering FN were the lower seeded team coming into this game. Obviously, Swiss system makes it a bit difficult to actually get an accurate representation of the seedings. But the top 2 teams from yesterday, Seven and Ascent, they both won their games 5-0 in the first round. So they will be moving on to the quarterfinals alongside FN. FN will be waiting the winner of My Son's Basketball Team, aka Rakuzan, the Prem team. They're playing quality control at the moment. The only other reported score is Marca Neon. That's the Neon team, Finnish team, currently playing in Division 1. Not sure if it's the full roster that they're playing with or whether it's a mix, but it is mostly the Finnish team from Division 1. They beat Failer Esports 5-2 in their game. So they're into the quarterfinals as well. So there's the potential there, Albert, for a 7 Ascent final. I mean, do you think that's a guarantee at the moment, or do you think there's any team that can kind of contest those?
I mean, that's kind of what we have to expect. Unless there's a major upset, then we're definitely going to be seeing 7 and Ascent in the finals. And yeah, I'm very hyped to see that match being played, since we were supposed to get a little preview of 7 Ascent in week 2. That game haven't been played yet, so we haven't really seen these 2 teams play in an official environment.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was talking about this yesterday. We're still waiting for that sort of that match. So this could be sort of an aperitif for that main meal. We'll see later on in the ETF12 season. They did play each other yesterday in the group stages, and 7-1, 2-1 against Ascent. It was a very close game, actually, and both teams playing with subs on their team. I think it was Eskimo playing for Ascent instead of Josh, and they 7 had Permzilla playing on Scout with Starkey playing Soldier. So not full rosters. I'm not sure if there'll be full rosters here today. I would have to throw Lego into the mix. I mean, the only other team alongside them was my son's basketball team, and I felt, they did win 4 but lost 1. But of all the teams they played, they didn't have to play any of those other 3 in the top. They lost to Low Panda. They beat all of their other teams, but with all due respect, they weren't of the same caliber as 7 Ascent. But Lego played 7 yesterday in the final game, and 7 beat Lego 3-2. I feel Lego, there's the potential for a Lego Ascent game, and they didn't play against each other yesterday. So I think that would be a very interesting game if they do face against each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to throw it back to Seven's roster currently as well. It's gonna be interesting to see how they finalize their players on their roster, because right now it kind of looks as Starkey might be playing the season with them. He's been playing Roamer for them for the past week, so I'm definitely interested in seeing what happens there. And I did hear a little sneak peek from Kate's stream as well that AMS really wanted to play Soldier again. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've been seeing the last week. So I guess they just need to fill up that scout spot as long as the rest of the players wants to continue playing.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting to see what kind of team they actually end up doing, because for the sake of argument, I feel that they chose to play the ETF 12 season because they wanted to be in the right mindset for Rewind, have that kind of practice and play the games to actually have that competitive edge to them as when they went to California. And after that, I did wonder how they would play, whether it would be the same roster or whether people would lose motivation. They have got 100% record so far, but it's going to be really interesting to see that game versus Ascent. And I think this tournament is going to be an indication of how they play. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see. We do see some of the other results coming in now. Lego did win their game, video game gamer guys. They beat them 5-0. That was Dum's pick yesterday, his underdog pick to maybe make some waves. Did reach the playoffs, but have been taken down by the might of Lego. So it's going to be Lego versus Neon's Finnish team in the quarterfinals. FN obviously making their way through as with Ascent. Opposite side of the bracket though, but one big match that's going to be happening in the quarterfinals, Abba, is Seven versus Low Panda. So I'm not sure what we're going to be casting, but that does look like. I mean, what's your feelings on Low Panda at the moment? I mean, we know they're maybe a step down from the team that played in Prem last season, but some of the games I saw from them yesterday, they still have that edge.
Yeah, I think they weren't supposed to play this season, kind of, but then they decided let's still play and have some fun. So I'm not sure what kind of lineup they're playing with right now. I haven't really been watching any of their games, but like looking at the players that are on their ETFL roster, it's still good players. Like it's people with experience. So
Yeah, I mean, you take a look at this. It's mostly the team from last season. Still got Hildreth, still got Mookie, still got Ubers, still got Mr. Epic, which obviously all extremely good players on their respective classes. They've got Champagne on Medic, who's a new addition, and on the other scout they have Cookie, literally the old Broder TCM Dignitas Cookie, playing TFT once again. So I mean that's not a bad player to have jump in.
absolutely.
And I played them in Division 1 last week in their official, and unfortunately Champagne couldn't play. So as their substitute, they brought in Zub. So that's always a nice person to have on the bench.
Lord of Logs TF.
Yes, Logs TF man. So yeah, so that could be an interesting game in the next round. 7 versus Low
Unfortunately,
Panda.
though, sorry for interrupting here, but I do see Hildreth typing in chat here that Mon won't be playing because his PC has apparently died. So that's gonna be a rough one for the boys in Low Panner.
Depends on who they're going to get in. I mean, if they got players like Zub chilling on the subs bench, who are they going to bring in on scout? Just get like I don't know, Clockwork or something. Fly him over from that competition he's in at the moment. I can't remember what it's called, but get him in, get him in. Still waiting on some results here. 21-inch eggs though. That was my underdog team. It's got players like Eames on it. It looks like an interesting team. They beat the team Just to Mix 2-1. So they will be playing Ascent EU in the quarterfinals. Just waiting the result for one more game now. And hopefully we'll find out who will be casting next. But when it comes to getting to the semifinals, all of these teams are going to get a cut of the prize money. So I think the quarterfinals are going to be quite tense affairs for some of these teams, because they may just be thinking, all we need to do is just win one more game, and we're going to get some money in our pocket.
Yeah, I think that kind of is the mindset for many of the players here. When you know that Seven and Ascent are going for that final spot, it's tough teams to beat. Like even if You should have the mentality of being able to beat every team. It's just in the back of your mind that realistically, it's going to be very hard to get that grand final spot.
It is intimidating when you've got sort of teams of this reputation and players of this caliber participating to even sort of imagine to try to get that far. But who knows? We have seen upsets in competitions like this in the past. And of course, there is still to be decided 4 spots. You know, if you get to the semi-finals, even if you lose, there is a 3rd, 4th place playoff. The team that finishes in 4th gets, I believe it's 60 euros. Team in 3rd gets, or maybe no, it's also 60. So there isn't a. I'm talking out the back of my behind here, Alba, because they get the same despite 3rd or 4th. But the 1st and 2nd do get different. 1st gets a massive 1,000 euros. 2nd with 600. So there is a 400 euro difference between the top 2, and that's a big jump up from 60 if you finish in the semi-finals. So I don't know. I reckon all of these teams they're gonna fancy themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're just going to take a quick break as we decide which game to take a look in the next round. We're waiting for the one more result, so we'll be back for the quarterfinals of the EU Monthly number 2.